I can tell you that the celebrations are going to be very, very intense. And I'm literally running out of words given the celebrations that we are seeing. Can you imagine? We were 1-0 down in literally a few minutes after the match had begun, and look at us now. 3-2, the final score, and it is in favor of South Africa. Banyana Banyana winning against Italy, and that means we are through to the next stage of this World Cup. And Leshoro, I nearly mentioned your name, thinking that you may have been in New Zealand, but you're actually in South Africa. Talk to us about the celebrations that we are seeing there. Banyana pulling a fast one is how I phrased it to you the last time, and indeed, they did pull it off. All right, Benjamin Leshoro clearly reveling in the festivities there. Banyana Banyana are through to the next round. It feels as though we've won the World Cup. Not quite. We are merely through to the next stages, but it is quite an important success for Banyana Banyana at this stage of the World Cup, because remember, the first two games were not so impressive, and so people perhaps we're starting to lose faith in this national side, but here they are, once again, doing it for the country, despite the many challenges that they have faced in the lead-up to this World Cup. Banyana Banyana, they were a major talking point, given the monies, for example, that they are supposed to receive once they are able to get to the World Cup and being participants there. It has been just a whirlwind of emotions, if you like. And so the national team doing us very, very proud. The expectations, perhaps, were that we were going to start preparing to have them back in the country, thinking that they would not be able to go through to the next round. But emotions very, very palpable from that soccer field. You saw the Italian players. They simply cannot accept that they have indeed lost against this team. And Banyana Banyana going through to the next round. 3-2, the final score. Benjamin Leshoro, are you able to hear us now?
Collie, I can barely hear you, but it's celebrations here at the Freedom Park Heritage Site. Understandably why, and I wasn't even sure if my emotions would be in check for me to come on air with you at this moment. So we're going to try and go back into the celebrations. There's dance, there's everything that you could have hoped for when the match started. So I'm going to look for some of the prominent names that have been here. Let me try and pull that Dennis Mambo. We're live on Newzroom Afrika. Dennis Mambo, you were in tears. You were in tears after Banyana scored their third goal.
Yes. Well, you know, what else can one do? We've been waiting for this for so long. We have to release somehow. And this today, I don't even have a voice anymore. But today, really, Banyana Banyana showed they can stand up and against anyone in the world and do better and best them. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is South Africa's most successful team, and we're happy for them. We will stand with them all the way through the rest of the tournament.
And you're right, because this is the first team, men or women, to qualify for the knockout rounds of the World Cup.
Absolutely. It's the very first South African football team to ever do this. And you have to give them credit. It is the best team as far as I'm concerned. And they can play against anybody in the world and do well, or even beat whoever it is. Let's see them see if they go to the semi-final and to the final. They can beat any team.
We're hoping they can do the job. They next face the Netherlands in the round of 16. It's not going to be an easy one. It is a tough team. Dennis Mumble, thank you so much. Go join the celebrations, and I'm going to join the fans who have come also to celebrate with Banyana Banyana, and they actually do attend the matches when Banyana are playing at home. You're so happy.
Yes.
It's a big moment for South African women's sport.
Yes, it's a big moment for our ladies, for South Africans, all South Africans who are so happy. And this is the month of Imbokodo. August is our month. So they made us proud. We are proud of our ladies.
And what do you, let me talk to some of the other ladies here. Ladies, let me just invite you here. How do you feel about what does the moment mean to you in particular?
Happy, we won. Happy Banyana Banyana, proud of you, Banyana Banyana, happy. Happy Banyana Banyana, we are proud of you, girls. Happy Banyana.
All right, Koli, I'm gonna come back to you, Kolim Gambi, because the celebrations are going on here, and we need the music to go a little bit higher, the decibel levels. So I'm not gonna stand in the way of that. We'll talk to you just now as Banyana Banyana make the nation proud. For the first time, a World Cup win. That's important. Secondly, for the first time into the knockout stage of a World Cup. No team has ever done that in the history of South African football. Kolim Gambi, this is huge.
Benji Leshoro, thank you very much. We are going to go back to him indeed. And I think he also just needs to get his emotions in check, just as I am trying to do my level best here to suppress these emotions. But perhaps I shouldn't suppress the emotions. Cass Naidu, you are back with us. How's the feeling from your viewing party?
It's crazy. I think we've basically turned this hotel into Banyana Banyana Central. Even people who perhaps never knew that we had a women's football team all ran into the bar area. We've been shouting. I mean, I think I'm going to lose my voice. I can't tell you what it meant. I mean, we just took a video now of all the girls here, women in media crying. What does this mean? We've seen this team go through so much. And to make history like this in the year of women's sport, I can't explain to you what this will mean for every woman in sport watching this today and every young girl watching.
It is absolutely fitting, Cass. You know, our politicians time and again will use the words a gallant fight. We came from 1-0 down all the way to 3-2. Surely that has got to count for something, even if we don't win the World Cup, just for us to get through the next stage of the World Cup. It says something about the pedigree of this team.
Yeah, I think it's so important every time to honor the victorious strides we make. And, you know, we kept saying we have failed to advance to the next round. That has always been our narrative. Now we say for the first time ever, we've advanced to the next round. And every World Cup we go to, we'll break further barriers. But for me, the greatest success at this World Cup is the global stars, the Hilda Magaya, Thembi Kgatlana, Jermaine Seopesenwe. They play overseas. They've brought all that international knowledge and expertise onto the field in New Zealand. And it just shows you, and we've got to take our hats off to these women because they've gone and charted their own way globally. And now we are benefiting from that. So listen, is this the greatest day for women's football ever? I know we won WAFCON, but the world today is sitting and watching. And I wouldn't be surprised a couple of our players will be picking up their own global contracts going forward.
It is a beautiful scene, I've got to tell you, Cass. It's as if we have won the World Cup already. But we've also got to get our emotions in check and perhaps drive a message to football administrators in this country. As they watch this gallant fight that has just happened, what do they have to say to themselves to improve the standard of football in our country and, in particular, support the women of this country who are playing any sport in terms of that gender parity when it comes to the gender pay gap?
You know, to advance women's sport, you need everyone to work together. And I hope today's victory says to every sports administrator in the country, imagine if we worked together. Imagine if we had deliberate collaboration and we co-created success together. And we always need something like this. We saw that with the Women's Cricket World Cup, history making, getting into the final. It's changed cricket forever. We needed something to change football forever. And I'm hoping there's corporates sitting at home going, you know what, actually, that is a good business decision. And one day, when we are at the World Cup, we will be with Banyana at the World Cup. So there's a lot of positives coming out of today. You spoke about emotions. I'll tell you the biggest challenge for Banyana right now is to ground themselves. And there's no better country than New Zealand. They have amazing sunrises and sunsets. Go get your head out of the game because there's such a challenge ahead of you. In the next round, we've never known this feeling before. And yeah, we're so proud. So proud.
Kes Naidu, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go and revel in the festivities. Let's take you back to Benji Leshoro. Benji, you're back, and let's talk about this win for Banyana Banyana. I was mentioning to Kes just a moment ago that it feels as though we have won the World Cup already, just for us to get to the next stage of this World Cup. Talk to us about the feeling there on the ground. I know that you have people who are football fundies where you are.
Yeah, it's absolutely electrifying here at Kodimgambi as that final whistle blew, and we waited for it for a long time, and we were at the edge of our seats waiting, and some of us couldn't look, and as it blew, people had tears in their eyes because this is such a momentous occasion. You're right when you say it feels like we've won the World Cup, because it doesn't matter what happens from here. Banyana Banyana will land back at OR Tambo International as heroes because they've done something that has never been done. They are history makers. And one of the people that has been responsible over the years is former coach, administrator, and particularly coach of Banyana Banyana, Fran Hilton Smith. And she joins me here. In fact, Fran coached Coach Desiree Ellis in the national team. The now coach used to be a player under you in the Banyana Banyana setup. Fran, what a moment.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad I'm still alive to see it with the first manager of Banyana, Dara Carroll, the first manager, and me, the first coach. So I'm glad I'm here to witness it. It's been an absolute dream come true. I can now rest in peace. We've achieved what I wanted to achieve. And Desiree too, congrats. And all the players.
Did you think you'd ever see it?
Well, I dreamt it. You know, you have to dream big. And I knew they could do it. And today they've proved it that we are the African champions and the best players in the world. I've always told my friends, you never believe me. Now they will believe me.
And Fran, where does it take women's football now in South Africa? There's a whole lot of things that have been unfair on women playing in this country or coaching or in administrative positions.
Yeah.
Does this mean a key turnaround? Is this a catalyst for South African sport in general, not just football for women?
Absolutely. I think the women have proved they can do it. They've achieved more than Bafana in many years, so we hope this changes the whole picture for the ladies. And many more girls play sport, any sport, but they can see there's a future, a professional future.
Fran, I'm going to let you go. You have tears in your eyes still as I speak to you. She says she never thought she'd live to see it happen. And today she has. And Fran Hilton Smith, we hope that's still some time to come. She says she can rest in peace. We hope, of course, that it's still some way from now. The celebrations go on. What's happening at the moment, Chloe, is that there's some gifts that are being presented to some of the Banyana players that are here. I saw Sibongile Khumalo, not the singer, of course, the former Banyana player. I saw Gloria Hlalele, she's also here. I saw Kabo Zita, we spoke to her, obviously, a little bit earlier. So there's some of the players that have donned the colors of Banyana Banyana in their lifetime, unfortunately did not reach the heights that this team has, but you can say that it is at the back of their sweat and tears, the blood that was drawn from them, that this team is able to today make the nation so proud. So it is a very, very emotional occasion for some of them.